What are the SAT subject tests and how should my kids study for them? Well, that used to be the question I had the most eagerness to describe because they kind of snuck under the radar screen for a lot of parents who were not really in the know, and they were still important for students applying to the more elite colleges. Subject tests were, until they were discontinued in June of 2021, they were ways that students could show their expertise subject by subject. They were short 1-hour tests. Parents might know them from 40 years ago when they were called the achievement tests. And along the way in between, they were called the SAT-2s. Subject tests, that was the name after that, but discontinued. And so students now have something called the SureSight tests. So these are similar to those subject tests. They are subject by subject, but they're done at home. And so students don't have to worry about a COVID cancellation. They didn't have to worry about whether the subject test was on the date of a sporting event or a prom or another SAT test that they were scheduled to take. So a SureSight test, which is given almost every weekend and done from home, still tests the same things. And thus the prescription is the same. How do you study for the SAT subject test, now a SureSight test? You do it without a whole lot of extra effort because you're studying for your finals anyway. And thus, come May or June, or if you want, you could wait till the summer. You, as a student, have learned so much in a subject, and then at your leisure, you're opening up a computer for a 1-hour test. If you need to take more time, you can. If you finish early, you can, and then you can go out. So, very convenient, and with the same purpose, letting colleges know your expertise in chemistry, U.S. history, Spanish, calculus. To some extent, they replaced the APs. No college requires the APs anyway. So colleges that are accepting of more data now have SureSight tests as their data to accept. Neither the SAT subject tests nor the SureSight tests ever required test-taking intimacy, the nuances of parsing a tightly made right answer versus a wrong answer. That's an SAT thing and an ACT thing. Subject tests and SureSight tests, they don't go to that. If you know your stuff, you're able to show it without getting tricked up by answer choices or even questions that are sometimes difficult to parse. The subject tests, unlike the AP, there's no subjectivity. It's objective. It's all multiple choice. SureSight tests do the same thing. I think most students welcome that, and they certainly welcome not having to go into school anymore to take these tests on a Saturday morning when they could take them at home, and they could take them when they're at their best. And that could be a Friday evening. That could be a Sunday morning. Choice and repetition is available on the SureSight test too. That's a nice improvement because if a student's not satisfied with the score, first off, she learns it 3 days later, and she could take the test again 10 or 11 days after that. They're offered every 2 weeks.